Hey, what's up? I'm Twitchfinch. This is a brand new channel. Going to be focusing mainly on Pokemon stuff. Might be a bit of other stuff. There'll be a sort of introductory video at some point. But yeah, no. Today I've got a battle, and it's a black and white 2 OU battle, quite obviously. As you can probably see, rain against rain. Just before we go into it, on his team I'm kind of scared of the Jirachi because it's could be subcon mind, or even anything with Wish and Protect is generally quite annoying. So yeah, I think I'll just get straight into it. Okay, so he leads with Alakazam, I lead with Hydreigon, I switch out into the Bronzong to take whatever because I know I'm not faster. He misses his Focus Blast. He's going to Calm Mind here, which is a bit weird to set up early, but I was like, okay. Set up my Stealth Rocks, he goes for the Shadow Ball, does about a third, and at this point I've set up a Light Screen, because I know obviously he's a special attacker. And he's going to Calm Mind again, and I'm going to smack him pretty much in the face with a Gyro Ball, take him down to his Sash, and now his Alakazam's useless, and that's kind of what he gets for being a little bit sort of greedy. And then he goes into Spherothorn, and I play it safe, go for a Hidden Power just in case he wanted to stay in and sack it. And now obviously I can't do much to a Ferrothorn, so I'm going to switch out and go back into my Hydreigon because I know I can take anything. And he goes for a Gyro Ball. I'm not sure, well, yeah, and then he switches out into his Politoed, and I go for the U-turn just to get the initiative because I threatened him with the superpower. I go into my Toxicroak because Toxicroak's a pretty good matchup for Politoed, and now I'm going to sub just to scout what he is, and he turns out to be a defensive set, and he's perished on me. Now I'm behind a sub, Politoed can't really do anything to me, so he switches out into his Jirachi, and then this is the point where I was like, okay, I'm just going to fire off some Drain Punches. I've got 3 turns, and just see what this Jirachi does, because I really need to figure out what kind of set it is. So he goes for the Stealth Rock, and that kind of put my mind at ease a little bit, telling me that he's not Subcon Mind, or it's unlikely that he's Subcon Mind, because where would you fit all the attacking moves on? Now I'm going to perish next turn, so he knows I've got to switch out. So I switch out to my Politoed, knowing that he's not Subcon Mind, so he might not be specially attacking in any sense. And he U-turns, which tells me that he probably also doesn't have the Wish and Protect, so he's probably just a standard sort of Haxorchi. So I go for the Scald on the Ferrothorn here, which is a bit of a misplay because he could have gone for the Power Whip and pretty much taken me out, but I was kind of banking on the fact that he went for the Gyro Ball earlier and he wouldn't have it, so he Leech Seeds. And I go to my Executor because I don't want to stay in. And I'm just going to quickly pause the battle here for a second and explain the reason for having Executor. Now, Executor is kind of a bit of a weird choice, especially in OU. Because you kind of have better grass types out there and better psychic types out there, and you know, combinations of the two, like Celebi, who's kind of better all round. However, Executor has much better special attack stats, so it can deal out quite a bit more damage. Even on invested, it's 286. It's like base 125. So yeah, no, this Executor is a specially defensive Executor, so I've got about over 200 in both defensive stats and about 386 HP, whatever the 394, whatever it happens to be. And with my typing, I can check and or counter some of those pretty big offensive threats like Keldeo and Breloom because I resist the stabs, and I also have Harvest with the Resto Chesto. So I can't really be 2-hit KO'd by anything, assuming that I get my Harvest back. And kind of, it can occasionally help against some teams, sort of, although obviously it doesn't like taking the fire type moves, but it always gets its Chesto Berry back under the sun. And I've got Rest, Giga Drain, Psyshock, which is the thing that Celebi doesn't get, and Leech Seed on this. And in addition to doing well against stuff like Breloom and Keldeo, also kind of does well against the standard kind of rain defensive cores of Politoed, Ferrothorn, Tentacruel, because they can't really do much. Like I'm especially defensive, so anything barring a Specs Ice Beam off of a Politoed isn't going to 2-hit KO or OHKO me. And the Gyro Ball's not doing much because my speed's quite low. Anyway, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, so I think I'm just going to resume. So he's got his Gyarados in, and he's going to substitute, and I've mistakenly went for the Leech Seed, not quite knowing what to do. Thinking of changing that for Hidden Power File. So he's going to Dragon Lance behind the sub, and I'm going to break it because 286 special attack, stab, Psy Shock's going to do a decent amount of damage. He goes for the Waterfall and it does 52%. Now here I went for the Giga Drain because I wanted to get it down low enough so if I can force it out, because it's a bit of a threat, then it will die from Stealth Rocks. So he Waterfalls and I predict that I go out into the Tox Croak, try Skin, and at this point I'm like, okay, I've got to kind of sack something because I can't get a free switch in with my Terrakion. So I go back into Executor, get the Earthquake off, and he goes for a double Earthquake and just KOs me. And I know that at 1.5 times speed he's not going to outspeed my Scarf Terrakion, and nothing's going to want to take a close combat, so either way. And he decides to let it die, so it's 5-all at this point. Brings in his Thunderous T, and I'm going to switch out because I don't think I can KO it. It's resisted. So I go into Bronzong, and it's just going to take a hefty chunk, and I get paralysed. And at this point it's like, okay, Bronzong, you've done your job, you've set up rocks, you did a lot of damage to Alakazam, you can go away. Bring back in Terrakion immediately to threaten it with the Stone Edge, because even if it is Scarfed, I'm outspeeding with 108. I go for the Stone Edge, he brings in the Ferrothorn, just went for the safe play because I didn't want to predict that in case I mispredicted. I bring in my Hydreigon, he Leech Seeds, and at this point, even if he protects, I'm still going to be around. And I superpower him, and he managed to kill me with the Rocky Helmet and Iron Barb's damage. So at this point, I'll just double down. I bring in Terrakion because I can outspeed everything, and he brings in his Thunderous T. Now I'm going to go for the safe Stone Edge again, and he stays in, thinking I'm going to over predict or just wanting to sack that. So at this point, he brings in his Jirachi, and now Jirachi can kind of take it. So I didn't want to risk that, and he goes for Body Slam and Politoed, and then this is where the battle seems to get a little bit stallier, so I think I'm just going to speed up slightly. And it's basically just him trying to para-flinch me to death, but obviously it's not going to do much because I'm defensive Politoed, and he's only netting 4-5% damage, and all I need to do is get a couple of Scalds off to offset his leftovers recovery and hopefully get the burn. So yeah, not much to say here. It's just Haxorchi doing what Haxorchi does. I know a lot of people find it annoying, I don't really mind it. I go for Scald, first Scald, don't get the burn, but I've got, a few good resists left in me. Yeah, he's going to take him 4 or 5 hits. Get a second consecutive Scald, and now I've got the burn. So now he's going to be doing pretty much the same amount of damage as leftovers can recover, unless he switches it up to Body Slam. And I'm kind of in a better position now, because he's taking 6% passive damage every turn. And now he starts Body Slamming, he's 7%, so the damage he's doing is negligible. So he's going to continue to do this, and I'm wondering when he's going to switch out, because at this point, the ball's in his court, he's the one that has to switch out, he's the one that's taking the continuous damage, and I'm pretty much staying at that, 25% mark. So as he finally gets down to 8%, he U-turns out into his own Politoed, and at this point, I'm kind of like, okay, well, what are you going to do? He goes for the Ice Beam, and it only does 9%, and I go for a Scald, and I get the burn. Now, a burn on a Politoed's good, because he's, again, taking 6% passive damage. Wow, this part of the battle is really stally. Then he goes for a Scald, pretty much going to take me out, and now, I'm kind of thinking, okay, I know he's defensive, so I'm going to go into my Toxicroak, and basically set up a sub in his face, and just pretty much finish off the battle here, really. So I set up the sub, and he goes for a Perish Song, obviously because he doesn't want me setting up, but I didn't really see the point in it. It's pretty futile because one Drain Punch on all of his Pokemon is going to KO it, and that's going to take exactly 3 turns, and the battle's going to be over. So at this point the battle's pretty much over. It was a pretty good game. It was an okay game. It's one of the better games I've had today. Don't know whether this will be uploaded today. yeah, so I just use Slice Shocks to break the sub. I just finish it off with an Ice Punch. Okay, yeah, so that'll probably be one of the first battles uploaded. A little bit unprofessional, but I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to be professional, just doing this for fun really. And you know, if I upload, you know, if I edit these videos, have to watch back and narrate them, it makes me a better player, and generally just all round more fun to me. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, whatever, bye.